folks, welcome to race number 14, if my math checks out, of the Bwoah Racing League, hosted by RoadRunnerRacingCo Esports. And this time around, we're heading to the fabulous circuit of Shanghai. It's the Chinese GP of the Bwoah Racing League. I'm Sarthak, and alongside me, Dalvin, as always. Dalvin, what's up? How you been?
Sarthak, good. It's good. Good 2 weeks of break, and I think drivers are also feeling a little pumped for today, especially with the championship. It's starting to close up between some drivers, and
Yeah.
that's interesting to see. China, as always, it's gonna be interesting. If drivers can adapt to the weather, if there is some weather. Otherwise, it's a straight up duel on the streets, around the corners. Well, you can expect all sort of things in this circuit.
Yeah, and as you bring up the championship, Davin, we got Envy out on track today, with the likes of
Indeed.
KDB as well. So the top three all out on track, I'm pretty sure. Oh, quickly will
Yep.
solve um issue. But regardless, back to what's happening out on track. Soon enough, we'll see all 14 drivers out on track for sure qualifying. 18 minutes to sell lap time to decide their spot on the grid for the race.
Yep. And one thing good, in recent patches, we have heard that qualifying bug has been fixed where, if you leave the session or you get kicked out of the session and you rejoin, it no longer resets your time to 18 minutes. So which means, any driver that's late to join, they will see the correct amount of time. And, from our testing, it worked out. So kudos to Codis for that. Hopefully that carries on to the next game as well. And yeah, drivers are still in their garages getting ready, but I see some activity over in the Merc garage. As usual, they're the first one to leave, and that is Baby Shumi, if I'm correct.
No, it
Yep,
is Sicknig.
it's
Sicknig.
Signig who's
Yeah.
out. Yep.
First one to come out onto track. Yeah, he's been edging through every race hosted by RoadRunnerRacingCo Esports. Even in race to 0R, he's usually the first man out on track.
Correction, Sarthak. Today it's Derb
Yeah.
who's the first one to
Oh.
leave the circuit. So, yep. Well, the Mercs have been beaten today in terms of who goes out 1st. Let's hope that's not a direct punch at at the Mercs for taking the fight to the Alphas today.
Yeah.
And in the
Good.
chat, yes, chat is getting busy. Prediction P1, NV, P2, KDB, P3, Dub, Vix. With the bold predictions over there. So, is it Vix? I can't see the names properly, but yes, bold predictions over there. Let's hope you get some prediction points and cookies at the end for the correct predictions.
Yeah, and meanwhile, let me just sort out an issue we have on stream. But yeah, comms to you, Davin. 16 minutes to short qualifying left, and a bunch of the drivers out on track.
Yeah, surprisingly, no one's opting for the mediums just yet. Heard some chatter that mediums hards might be the strategy to go, but some drivers are possibly considering the medium soft if their tire wear is pretty good around here, or even the soft hards. So I wonder if everyone's gonna YOLO it on the softs from the start. And as we see, Derp comes across the line to start his flying lap. Let's ride on board with him for a moment and see if he's gonna send back this lap or he's just gonna send it into turn one.
Yeah.
Turn one, very, very long, unwinding right hander. It gets tight and tighter as you go in. Turn two, turn three, out of the little hairpin, the snail section, as they like to call it, onto the small straight before the end of the first sector. Pretty good time. Brakes just in time for the next corner. Ooh, mounts the curb as well. Interesting line taken by him. And into the high speed middle sector. Yes, takes a left. Ooh, a little understeery there, and then flicks it right. The car is not so compliant. Perhaps the grip not fully up there in this session just yet. And then double left-hander. The tires are definitely screaming for grip over here. Another heavy braking zone before a slow section. It's gonna stress the tires a bit now. Oh, takes a lot of curb over there. And this is the opposite of turn one. It's an opening section, and it gets faster and faster as you go down. Again, it's gonna stress the tires a lot. And onto the back straight, probably the best overtaking opportunity. DRS wide open and into the braking zone. 100 meters is your mark, and brakes heavy. Takes a lot of curb on the inside. On to the final straight before the last corner. Can he nail this? Or will this be invalidated? Ooh, takes it very, very safely. Doesn't want to invalidate a good lap at this point. Across the line, Dub. First one to cross, sets at 32.3.
All right, and we should be back in the lobby. So qualifying action for our viewers. For the handful of you all watching, make sure you drop in the chat who you're here for. Who do you think will come out on top at the end of this session? Right now, as it stands, Derp looking pretty strong out on track. I believe we have Cuba Rabi out on track without the wheel, so he's on the keyboard.
Indeed. Yeah, that's an unusual transition, one would like to say. Especially, considering if I'm not wrong, he said his wheel broke or something, right?
Yeah.
So, you'd understand that he is transitioning over to the keyboard. But wow, look at that pace for someone who's on the keyboard, 32.8. That's very, very impressive. And speaking of impressive, there we go. Mr. Impressive is back on P1. NB with a 31.8.
Yes, and as we said, Avix356 had a expedition onto the grass. Meanwhile, Derp with the second fastest lap time. Cuba Rabi on the keyboard, third fastest.
Yep. And in the chat, it's Mr. Vex. Yes, thank you, Mr. Vex. Thank you for reminding me who you are. I often get confused with the names in the BRL, but thank you. It's often appreciated. Yes, and back to the track. 12 minutes left, and not many drivers have set a time. Only 8 drivers, and only Signic of all the remaining drivers is considering setting a lap time on the medium. So I wonder where that's gonna put him. Let's right on board with him where he is this time around. He is just coming across the first sector and into the second sector. Let's see how he does it. Look at the glorious Merc. We won't be getting this black Mercedes anymore in the 2022 season. It's back to the silvers, but let's see how this car can perform on this track. Ooh, very, very squiggly and runs very wide and still manages to keep it valid, surprisingly. Into the third sector. Whoa, very, very squiggly there, Signic. This car is definitely not liking the tires at the moment. Looks like he has just abandoned the lap.
Yeah, and we're down to just over 11 minutes of qualifying left into this session. A bunch of drivers off the grid, in fact, still yet a set lap time in, and we current fastest out on track. And Gameless, that's the lap time, gives him 9th fastest only. But we've still got some heavy hitters, UK, Big Man Joe, and Signing still yet to set lap time.
Indeed, and well, it's still early days. There's a lot of time, 10 minutes to go. And there's also a bit of track evolution that will come into play later in the session. UK, in the meantime, sets a provisional P2, 32.1. Just about 3/10 under the pole zero of Envy.
I think all stream issues have been resolved, so I think we're good to go. Continue on board KDB. As he is wrapping up a fast lap of his own. He currently sits at 5th fastest with a 133.127. By the looks of it, he just might be able to improve. Yep, 4th fastest he goes.
Yep, 32.8. Just a second. Yep, still early days as I mentioned. It's gonna take a while for these drivers to get up to pace. Definitely don't want to invalidate or crash out in your first attempt. Otherwise, that's gonna mean you're starting at the back of the grid, which can be a good thing if you're running the alternate strategy and banking on some safety cars and whatnot. But then again, strategy sometimes and luck go hand in hand. So let's see. Signic, speaking of which, is the only driver to set a lap time, attempting to set a lap time on the mediums. And across the final hairpin, coming to the final corner here, how much risk is he gonna take? How much is he gonna push? The answer is, let's see in a few seconds. And across the line, takes P10, 34.1 on the mediums, pretty respectable time. Let's see if he decides to stay on that tire till the end. Meantime, 4 drivers still have not set a time. Drunken Monkey and his teammate Big Man Joe, the Red Bull boys, are finally getting out of their pit lane. going out for a track. Baby Shumi as well, finally out. RB Fairlow, who's late to the party. Well, he's never late to the action in the race. So he has enough time to set a time here.
Yep, but from what I heard, he might just be attempting a last to first regardless, but he is coming out on track, so who knows, maybe we'll see him start in the top 3 of the front row, most ideal of positions to start a race from. Sector 3 lights up yellow. That's a close moving Ferrari and McLaren by the looks of it on the track map. But yeah, that time set by Envy still remains unbeaten, doesn't it, Dalvin?
Yeah, but not a big gap though. 3/10 to the next guy on track, and Dub only about half a second behind, which is not too much considering there's a lot of corners where you can get a lot of time with some track evolution and taking some better lines in your second run and a bit more risk. So let's see, Dub, who has started his second lap, looks like it. Yep, he's on a flying lap now.
Yeah, we'll say purple sector 1 from him as well. So into sector 2 he goes. He's looking to beat that lap time. Meanwhile, he's lost that second spot on the board to UK, who's gone second fastest so far, 1 minute 32.199. So he's not only fighting for pole here, provisional pole, he's fighting for his second position back. So no fumbles will ensure that he does get what he needs. Hyrox 24, fourth fastest out on track. His consistency of being in the top 5 in qualifying continues then. But hopefully he can, this time around, he can ensure that translates into a race result as well.
Oh, well, he has just been displaced by Gauts now, who takes the P4 away with a 32.5. And in the meantime, Dub is going even faster, sets up the purple sector 2 as well, coming across the last hairpin here. Brakes very heavy, takes the same aggressive line in quali. Impressive to see how much he is pushing, and across the last corner is definitely yeeting the car out. Oh, and yeeted he does, and the car unfortunately can't take that much of force to the last corner. He sends it into the wall. That's his lap over. Thankfully 6 minutes to go. There's a chance for one more.
Yeah, and we can see sectors lining up yellow. Unfortunate there for Dub. Let's stay on board Gauts, who seems to have improved on his sector 1 time, and now he's off on to sector 2. He should be looking to pick off another position.
Envy, 3.5 tenths up in sector 2, coming across the last corner now. This might be a very low 31, and oh, just a 10th improvement though. Pretty high 31 there. He was looking very impressive coming into the last corner, 3 tenths up, but somehow lost the time. Still P1.
Yeah, evidently. So even Gauts fumbled in sector 2 as well. So I don't see him picking off that lap time picking out the position from Derp. So for now, it stays the way it is. 6 minutes left to shock qualifying. No change in the top 3. KDB on his out lap. So perhaps he'll get in on the action in the top 5.
Yep, and looks like he's just taking a chill on the out lap over here. You definitely want to make sure these tires are not too hot when you start the lap, otherwise you will be losing a lot of grip towards the end of the lap. And seems like he knows what's up for him. And a lot more drivers I'm seeing are attempting the mediums lap as well. I wonder if the alternate strategy is really up for place today.
Yeah, we've clearly seen this trend in Bwoah Racing League where they see the drivers who are more often than not in the front of the pack in the lead, and they copy that strategy every now and then. They're actively communicating with each other as well as a community, so definitely you'd see that happening. First out was obviously I think it was Sickening on the mediums, and now we see a bunch of other drivers coming out in the mediums.
Has lost it coming out of the snail section at sector 1. That would mean his lap is over.
Unfortunate for him.
Yep.
He's on fresh
Just
softs.
a little trigger happy on the throttle, and that sends the car spinning. Looks like a pretty aggressive setup by KDB, or is just underprepared for this race, I wonder. Not usually the trend for him in the second half of the season. Well, let's see what he has in his final run.
Yep. Soon enough we'll find out. But for now, with 4 minutes left shock qualifying, stay on board UK. He seems to have improved in sector 3. He's fighting for pole position out at Shanghai, and as we speak he comes across the final corner, across the line. Fastest lap on the board.
Oh, by over 6 tenths of an improvement. gives him 31.6. What a lap there. What a lap indeed.
Absolutely brilliant, bringing his best out on track. UK today seems like he's improved considerably. I believe he is in the top 5 still in the drivers championship fight, so he's not gone anywhere. Envy might just be looking at this and thinking, okay, I need to
Yep.
buck up now. It's second half of the season, things are taking
Yep.
a turn.
Yep, Dubs on his out lap, and in the chat, Dubs was saying, I was up 1.1 second. That's very impressive. 1.1 second of improvement would put him somewhere in the regions of 31.1 or 31.2, which would be a pole position by about 2 or 3 tenths right now. So Dub, he has a chance. One more run. Can he prove to be the guy that takes pole today? We're about to see.
Yeah, soon enough. Soon enough. UK still the fastest man out on track. Of course, his closest competitors, Envy and Dup, are on their outlaps. And Gouts is still in the pit. So Arox 24 on a fast lap of his own. On the mediums, clearly slower. But yeah, he's trying nonetheless. KDB, what's he up to?
No idea. He's just going around the track. Looks like he's attempting another run. And this time around, coming across the second sector, let's see what his split time is. He's up about 2.5 tenths. So there is some hope for him, but seems to be struggling a little bit on traction as well. These tires might have just done their time. And onto the back straight. One last hurrah, let's see. Coming to the DRS zone, DRS wide open here. This is probably going to be the best overtaking spot. Expect some lunges in turn 1, turn 2, and even the last corner. And here we go. Across the hairpin. Now, one last time, put down the power. Get it across the last corner. Send it over the curbs and across the line. It's going to be a 32.5. That's 2.5 tenths improvement. Puts him P4 for now.
Yep, you can see Envy as well as Dup improving on the sector times. Purple sector 1 for Dup, while Envy improves on the sector lap time.
Sarthak, would you look at that? We have some rain. This might just mean that drivers may not be able to improve on their laps anymore.
Yeah, last 1.5 minutes. And we've got rain, so UK might just have a smile on his face. He's retired from the session as well. So he's called it a day here in shock qualifying of the BRL Chinese GP of Season 5. But Envy and Dub still out on track, both on softs and improving nonetheless.
Yeah, improving, but how much can they muster in this final lap? Envy is already down 3 tenths from his previous best. So that's not going to help him into this final sector where traction is really important, and he seems to be struggling in that department as well. Dub as well, coming across the last corner here, second last corner, the hairpin, and let's see how much can he improve. Can he even improve a tenth or two?
Yeah, a 10th at best, I'd say. But would that be enough? Dub now on the main straight across the line. What kind of lap time as the rest of the drivers retire from the session?
Only
Dub
2.5 tenths, still P3 there.
Yeah, and Envy heads into the pits. And with only 30 seconds left to qualifying the end, neither driver will be improving their lap time. So UK is probably set to be on pole position by the looks of it. No other driver has come out on the intermediates or have improved on their sector times one bit.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a blunder by some drivers of for not looking out at the weather prediction for today or at the start of qualifying, because that just meant their first and second run would have been the most important one of the day. UK, crucially though, made it work with just 2 runs, and his second lap definitely counted in.
Yep. It's the end of qualifying here in BRL Chinese GP, and with it, it's UK on pole position for the race. Envy starting P2 right alongside him, with Dup and KDB behind them. Dalvin, the race start is going to be filled with action, won't it?
Yeah, and I'm guessing it's a dry race to start off, because drivers have definitely qualified in top 10. 3 drivers have qualified in the top 10 on the mediums. So which means we are expecting a dry race, but what's in for us halfway through the race? I wonder. And Mr. Wax in the chat says, I still stand by my prediction. So, well, Mr. Wax, let's hope you get your 3 cookies for today. Your top 3, not looking just correct as of yet, but towards the end of the race, we will definitely find out NBKDB and Derby's prediction. Pretty
Okay.
close there.
Yeah.
Everyone's within a position of each other.
Yeah, we were on board RB Ferrello, who was just cruising through the track on soft tires in the rain, and rightfully so, he got sent straight into the wall, lost his front wing. But I don't think
Ah,
that's going to matter for much. It is RB Ferrello. He likes starting at the back of the pack and finishing on the podium.
yep, and well, that's an easy way to grab the driver of the day as well. Gaining the most positions definitely helps. But well, if you have the pace and the consistency to back it up as well, I think you're gonna see a lot of overtaking from him once again.
So,
And I say once again because he has done it time after time in Bwoah Racing League Season 5.
right. And the only driver to set lap time on the mediums is Streeter with a 1 minute 33.094. So he'll be starting on the mediums. Of course, beyond P10, it's free tire choice
Mm.
for the boys.
Indeed, Streeter is the only one who made that work. And yeah, he will be on the strategic point of view on the advantage, but at the start of the race, he's gonna get swamped by the soft runners. Let's see if he can hold on to his tire strategies at the start and start making moves, maybe a few laps in.
Yeah, perhaps we'll see that unravel in his own time. Meanwhile, folks watching, make sure you drop in the chat who do you think into turn one will be our race leader. Wild predictions, you can drop them all you want. We got four race winners starting in the front two rows. So yeah, I think beyond that as well, I think the top 10's filled with race winners today.
Race winners, podium sitters, fast laps, everything you can count that in. And I think as we go on through the season, we are seeing big improvement in terms of skills shown by these drivers and also race pace, racecraft. Crucially, less incidents, which I'm happy to say.
Yeah. Precisely, no, definitely. I think the fact that incidents have been considerably less, and driver error forced incidents on their own. Perhaps you could say mess ups on their own that
Hmm.
they lost out on a podium, track position, the strategies they picked didn't go their way is more of an occurrence in season 5. So yeah, probably not the best for the drivers, but definitely much more fairer. But the amount of time you stewards have been spending on incidents haven't changed, have they, Dalvin?
Not really, but definitely a little less hectic than it was at the start of the season.
Ah,
And given that game has kind of improved in terms of stability and bugs, we are finding it a little easier to manage some of these issues. So tire strategies. Let's get on to that. Looking at the race director over here, not Kubarabi, my bad, Streeter, the only one in the top 10 who qualified on the mediums. Well, he will be starting on that. The rest of the top 10 are starting on the softs. An interesting tire choice from P11 onwards. Drunken Monkey on the hards. Big Man Joe on the mediums. Signig on the hards. Game Low on mediums. RB Fairlow on hards. So there's a little checkerboard of hards and mediums at the bottom 5, which definitely is suggesting these drivers want to go long and deep into the race before making their next move.
yeah, and we got the formation lap on our screens, ladies and gentlemen. Soon enough, we'll have race start. It's 28 laps of racing at the Shanghai International Circuit. Three drivers out on track on the hards, like you mentioned, a checkerboard almost. But the top 10 all on sauce except Streeter.
Yep, Streeter on the medium, so well, he would be considered the lead medium runner. That puts him on the forefront for possibly a race win, if I dare say. If he gets his strategy right, timing right as well with safety cars and BSCs. So UK Derp and VKB, I think they still have their hands filled a little bit, at least for the first half of the race. Because come the second half of the race, they might just be facing some of the drivers on the alternate strategy. But your favorite lap, the formation lap, is about to come to the end, and UK, for once again, I think, he's leading the formation lap, and he will be happy to lead a race. Let's hope he gets some good luck today. Otherwise, as always, you know what's coming our way.
Of course. Yeah, formation lap comes to an end. UK on pole position, Envy right alongside him, Derp as well. Seems like KDB has held up the pack for UK. In some ways, may not work out for him regardless. A bit of cold tires compared to the rest of the pack, perhaps, for him. But yeah, as it stands, 15 drivers out on track. We got Gambler as well stepping in for the Haas team by the looks of it. So yeah, we can expect great action going into the race itself, into turn 1. It's anyone's guess who's going to take the race lead.
Yep. And as the last driver, RB Fellow lines up in his grid under the shade. Well, interesting if that's going to affect the tires or not. But there you go. 5 lights are on, Sad. Take us away.
5 lights are on. We're racing out at Shanghai and the lights are out and away we go. What a start. He's gotten Derp. He tries to split through Envy and UK, but somehow Envy's got the even more brilliant start. He's pulling away and he's got the race lead, but through the inside comes Derp out of nowhere. He's wheel to wheel with Envy and he takes up the race lead, and UK is gripping for position. He's going to wait to see this play out. KDB up in a P4 now, or start P4, stays P4 in fact, but it's wheel to wheel for the front runners, Envy and Derp. They're staying wheel to wheel as they come out of sector 1. UK looking for an opportunity, misses out on it, loses a bit of time to the front runners as well, but the race continues and not much of a hiccup in the midfield either, Dalvin.
Yeah, very clean up. Well, as you say that, Big Man Joe is off the circuit, possibly from a little bit of wheel spin, but he will be getting back on track. So
yeah, unfortunate for him. But as we go down the order, sector 2 lights up yellow. We can see Big Man Joe on the track map, a bit too far off. But yeah, in the front, I'm amazed how they took sector 1, Derp and Envy, wheel to wheel through it. And UK, a bit of a fumble perhaps, nasty start, costing him quite a bit.
He had a wheel spin on the second phase, which meant that Derp and Envy got a good run on him into turn 1. And Derp and Envy, still pretty close there.
Yep, but it's Streeter as well as Kuberabi going wheel to wheel as Streeter goes up 1 position. Mind you, Kuberabi on the keyboard, his skills have not gone anywhere regardless of the input device. How is it?
Indeed, and he is looking like he has pretty good gap to Signic right behind him. So he will pull away for now. He is on the soft tires, so he want to make sure he's right up there with the soft runners. Otherwise, he will be losing out.
Yeah, I caught a bit of bullying perhaps by the in-game Alpine team. X356 and RB Ferrero made their way up position after position as after pushing Gambler a bit off track. I wonder if that'll go to the stewards. Regardless, RB Ferrero's up in a P11 now.
Yeah, interestingly, he's on the hards, whereas his teammate right behind him is on the medium. So I wonder if there's a bit of a pace difference or a bit of damage that Wix is carrying and then allow RB Ferrero through, or it might just be some team orders. Interesting enough. Let's see how this unfolds in a few laps time. Up in front though, gaps are still within a second of each other. The crucial DRS pretty sweet straight line speed boost, that's what everyone's looking for, and looks like the top 10 are still within a second of each other. Come lap 3, they'll be having DRS.
Yeah, but can they keep that gap the way it is? Vix356 of course closing in on RB Ferrero, who's trying to stay on the gearbox of Drunken Monkey. As you mentioned earlier, right, team orders between these two might just play out in RB Ferrero's favor. How much up the order can he go? Drunken Monkey weaves to the right hand side of the track to ensure he denies RB Ferrero's slipstream, but it is RB Ferrero. He lines up a move, he tries to line up alongside Drunken Monkey and into the penultimate corner. They go wheel to wheel and somehow Drunken Monkey keeps the position as he goes wide, plays into the hands of RB Ferrero, up at a P10.
Yep, a cheeky little early braking there by RB Ferrero to throw off Drunken Monkey and takes the position away very easy. And up next for him is Signic, so RB Ferrero, I don't think he's gonna take too long before he's catching up to the top 10.
Yep, and now...
Well, he is in the top 10 now, so it's top 9 to chase for him.
And now Drunken Monkey finds himself in an Alpine sandwich with Vix356, his old teammate from Season 3, on his gearbox. And right about now...
And Vix is not wasting any time, he's already alongside Drunken Monkey. Drunken Monkey is forced to go defensive, still keeps the inside, but Drunken Monkey tries to get a better exit. Can he though? Yes, just about, but Vix on the soft tires makes it work. Tries to go around the outside. Can he make it though? No is the answer. Drunken Monkey defending for his life in this early stage on the hard tires.
Yeah, brilliant racing at the back of the pack. Surprisingly enough, we are getting to see at Shanghai. Nothing's changed in the front, so let's stay on board. Vixie56 is going to try his best to close in on Drunken Monkey. Doesn't want to leave his teammate hanging dry up in front. More often than not, these two perform even better together. Let's jump straight back to the front, perhaps. Envy.
Well, within DRS, he is getting very, very close there. Ooh, almost stepping here of Derp. But onto the pit straight, perhaps we might just see a move coming in. I still have my eyes on BRL Vix. He's about to make a move on Drunken Monkey. Down the inside he goes. Tries to get the better traction as well around the outside of the final corner. Can he make it? No, BRL Vix just yields the position for another second.
Yeah, but back to that fight in the front. Envy now staying within 2 tenths, 3 tenths. Seems like Derb's car glitching out.
BRL Vix once again, Sarthak around the outside, this time into turn 1. Sends the car around and takes the position away from Drunken Monkey. I wonder if there's some collision between them that was Drunken Monkey off, or it's just unfortunate for Drunken Monkey there.
Yeah, he finds himself running P14 now. The Red Bull, the in-game Red Bull team find themselves running P14 and 15 respectively. But let's jump into the front. That's the fight for the race lead on lap number 4. It's Envy versus Derp between half a second of each other. And it's been that way for a while now. But Envy seems poised to pick that position off now in Sector 2. As they exit Sector 2 into Sector 3, I expect him to take it.
Yep, and not to forget our friend UK as well, who's within a second of these two, so he might be in prime position to pick off if these two fumble. And yep, looks like a move is coming from Envy over here. Easy peasy, easy as like. Derp, it's not really defending that hard, it's not deploying at all, just allowing Envy to take the lead this time, so still early days.
Yeah, I think it just played into the hands of Derp perhaps, because come the main straight, Derp could possibly take it. Oh, he loses it! He loses position.
And that means UK is up into P2. Well, that's exactly the opportunity we were talking about. And now Envy gets to pull a gap over second on UK. Now question is, will UK be able to close back up on Envy, or is it going to be under attack?
Oh, quickly jump to the midfield, Alvin. Down the inside goes Harrox24 on Baby Shumi, up in a P5. Brilliantly made down move, and to follow Streeter as well. And now wheel to wheel, banging wheels in fact with Baby Shumi. But somehow has to concede and will stay P7 for now.
Yep, Streeter may start to get impatient a little because his medium tires are going to be in much better conditions in a lap or two time, so he has to start making the moves if he wants to go up any further, and very close to the rear of Baby Shumi into the braking zone, but just hangs out a little longer.
Yeah, KDB has ended up developing a gap of 3 seconds to Derp, and
I wonder if he's just managing his tires in his first stint.
Yeah,
it's not unusual from him to stretch his tires, but this might just be the race where you wanna take care of your tires in the first stint, and you can have a consistent race in the second half. I wonder if that's the case that's happening to him.
Yeah, for now things have been very quiet with him. Of course, he didn't have anyone on his gearbox, but with the charging Harrox24, Streeter having made the move on Baby Shumi, also charging, one might just think he needs to go pedal to the metal from here on out. But now Harrox24 closing in, weaves to the right, but he won't be able to make the corner.
And Derp almost making a move there. Derp this time has made the move back on UK, up into P2. Derp goes into the final hairpin. That's where Derp made the move. Interesting. And oh, someone's in the pits already. Is that right? Am I seeing someone in the pits? Or is the game just tricking me? Well, it just seems to be a trick.
Yeah.
But no, there's actually someone into the pits this time around, and that's BRL Vix. Yep.
Yeah, but up ahead, Iox24 has closed that gap to KDB to 3 tenths now. You could say almost 3 tenths. Yeah, and right about now is his time to make a possible move. And Iox24 coming out on, Vixie56 coming out on track on a fresh set of mediums.
Yep, looks like a 2-stop will be coming his way. He will be rejoining in clean air, so let's hope he gets a clear run and an undercut over the rivals up in front. But KDB now has to contend with Harry Rocks, who's right behind him, and also Streeter, who's getting faster every lap with the medium tires.
Meanwhile, nothing's changed in the midfield. Streeter closes in on Hyrox 24. This is a three-way battle waiting to happen, possibly a four-way if Baby Shumi closes in as well. But Streeter now on the gearbox of Hyrox 24. It will be stalling him ahead of his battle with KDB.
That's very, very close. Even on the banking alone, Streeter having the extra grip now is ready to pounce on Harry Rocks, both having DRS. The question is who will be braver under the brakes. Looks like Streeter is staying a little patient just for a little longer, perhaps wanting to be dragged along by KDB and Harry Rocks.
KDB almost went wide there, but he got it perfectly. A corner, but up ahead, UK and Derp, of course, fighting for position. Let's stay on board.
And they're into the pits. KDB and Harry Rocks are into the pits. That's an early call from them that promotes Streeter up into P3.
Yep, and Derp went into the pits as well, so that evidently puts Streeter running in a podium position. Now Derp switching to the fresh set of medium tires. What about the rest of the pack? Sickening and RB Ferrell move up to positions P4 and P5 respectively. Around 6 drivers headed into the pits at that end of that lap. And we can see most of them coming out on mediums. So we got 2 hard runners as well. 3, in fact.
Yep, Sickening and RB Fellow. I think these are the drivers who started on the hard. So, well, I think this is the time for them to shine because these hard tires will go quite the distance. And they're in a good position for now. UK and Envy has decided to stay out for another lap. Let's see if they are going to respond to the other drivers behind them and pit this lap, or are they going to play a different strategy? Interesting to see.
Yep, we'll see all that unravel. We're on lap number 7. You could say we've finished the first leg of this race, if you would like to say it that way. But Envy leads this race, having taken the race lead from the likes of UK in the very first lap. I believe it was exchanged with Derp lap after lap as well. So yeah, Envy leads this race ahead of UK, Streeter, Sickening and RB Ferrer to wrap up the top 5. Big Man Joe finds himself after an unfortunate incident in lap 1, running P8 now on lap 7.
Envy's pushing, and yes, Envy's into the pits as well. UK responds as well, and into the pits he will go. I wonder if this is an attempt to cover from the undercut from Derp. Let's ride on board with him because Derp seems like he's going very quick on these fresh tires. He might just pull off the undercut on UK and Envy over here.
Let's see on board Derp. Meanwhile, UK, Envy, what are they up to? The tires are being fitted on. It's a new set of hards for UK. Envy is coming out of the pit lane. We can see him on fresh set of mediums. Derp, has he done it? Yes, he has.
He has done it, and there he goes. Takes the lead away from Envy, but crucially though, the gap is still within a second. Can Envy keep it that way, or will Derp pull away on the fresher tires?
Mind you,
it's all about to see.
Yeah, mind you, that's net race lead. Of course, for now, it's Streeter leading this race ahead of Sickening and RB Ferrello on lap number 8. 20 laps left, and it's all to play for. As I always say, KDB closing in on the likes of Gambler on those fresh mediums.
Yep, KDB, ooh, very, very close there. Ooh, side by side into the high-speed section, and Gambler yields the position. He knows when to fight and when not to. Looks like it. KDB takes an easy P7 for now.
Yeah, he's on a charge on his own. KDB out on track. We'll quickly hop back to Envy, who's within half a second of Derp.
Yeah, and getting ever so closer into the out of the snail section onto the back straight. How much is Derp gonna defend this? Looks like he's gonna defend pretty hard. He weaves over to the right, but Envy is in no hurry to pass him just yet.
Purple sector 2 from the likes of Envy as well on this lap, and into the penultimate corner they go. Now he's within 3/10 of Derp, and they both get the corner well, and they exit as well equally well. But Derp somehow holds on a P4 on the main straight. Now is the time for Envy to possibly attempt. UK is nowhere to be seen. The gap's over almost 4 seconds. Envy closes in onto the gearbox of Derp, swings to the left, and on the outside, almost wheel to wheel, but concedes and has to hold on to P5.
Yep, around the outside may not be the way to go if you both have the same freshness of tires, but maybe come the next lap if Envy has an overspeed, it might be possible. Still though, if they keep fighting like this, that might just invite UK and KDB back into the frame. And speaking of which, KDB has finally gotten himself back into DRS range of UK. 1 second, just enough gap.
Yeah, last time we saw UK and KDB go toe to toe was possibly season 4 in Italy. They had a healthy battle lap after lap for a brief 8 laps or so, and we also did end up seeing General Pepe wiping out. But yeah, for now, let's stay on board Irox24, who's closing in on Gambler.
Yeah, Gamble on that 8 laps all mediums against Herox's fresh mediums. So tire difference definitely coming into play over here. And he will be looking to make an easy pass on the back straight. Gambler, I do not think he will be defending this too hard, considering he has his own race to run. Herox, wow, with that extra fresh tires, able to take a different line and still go flat out.
Yeah, the only driver to pick up a time penalty is Baby Shumi, but swings to the right now, Irox24, and down the inside, picks up P8 into the penultimate corner on lap number 10.
Yep, and back to the front, Derp is now gonna defend from Envy once again. Envy is not really in a position to make a dive, but still attempts to go around the outside. Can he carry that extra speed though? But no, Derp this time gets a better exit as well onto the pit straight. Defense for another lap.
Yeah, it's gonna stay this way. KDB, however, equally just as Envy closes in on Derp, KDB closes in on UK.
Yep, gaps are definitely closing in. KDB on that mediums will attempt to go past UK at this early stage, but UK, if he can hold on, the longer he can hold up KDB, the better his tires are gonna be towards the end. So UK seems like it said it's disadvantage at the moment, but come the end of the race, his tires will be the best among the top four.
Yeah, let's jump back to the back of the pack. It's Kubarabi on Drunken Monkey as he pulls across to the right and around the outside. Gets the move done. Up into P11 he goes.
Yep, keyboard a wheel. This guy, he's spacey and he makes the move up into P11.
Yep.
Next up on him is Baby Shumi, who crucially has a 3-second penalty to his name.
Yep. But meanwhile, up ahead, Envy closes in on Derp, but Derp has closed that gap to RB Ferrello, now 3/10, and he dives down the inside as well, wheel to wheel in the penultimate corner. He wants that position, he wants to be clear of Envy, but he's pushed RB Ferrello wide enough to open up a gap for Envy as well. So it's a battle for P3 now.
Yeah, and RB Ferrello, while he's running on the alternate strategy, he definitely would like to challenge this position, and challenge it he will do. Back down the inside, takes the inside, defends the inside very, very hard, tries to push Derp off the track, but Derp with that extra grip manages to stick around the outside, which turns into the inside of turn 2 and 3, and then traction down into the next braking zone. Side by side they will go. RB Ferrello is defending this with all his might. Keeps the P3 for now. Derp though, RB Ferrello runs wide and Derp picks up the position away from him now. Envy tries to go around the outside of RB Ferrello. Can he stick it though? Still side by side. This two Derp has spun, and that has unfortunately caused Envy to collect him as well. Oh no, that's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, so unfortunate, but really Envy just got caught off guard there by that spin from Derp and lost an end plate as well in the process. Derp continues to run P4, Envy down to P7, gives an opportunity for UK and KDB to go up positions. KDB cheekily has made the move on UK as well.
Yeah, and guess what, KDB now on the back of Derp. Will he make the move immediately, considering Derp might be on super hot tires right now after the spin? Derp though still defending very hard. I think he knows this is coming. And KDB around the outside, he will go. Can he outbreak Derp? Derp tries to defend, takes a tighter line, but compromises exit. UK and KDB on him like hornets, and they are about to sting him pretty hard.
Yeah, Derp stays out now on the main straight. KDB closes in. Both UK and KDB have DRS. KDB closing in now. You might want to close that inside line, Derp, because you just opened it up for KDB, who makes that pass look a bit too easy.
Yep, and that opens up the opportunity for UK as well. Now he is trying to line up a move around the outside, around the inside, and turns to the outside for the next corner. Derp though still tries to hang it down, and then it's just who has better straight line speed, better braking into the end of sector 1, and seems like UK has it this time around.
Yep. KDB and UK now respectively up one position each. Dub finds himself down into P6. Envy has ended up going into the pits, of course, for a change of front wing, and he's come out P15. Will come out P15 with a fresh set of mediums.
Yeah, and unfortunately for him as well, Envy, he had an unfair 5-second receive there for the collision with Dub. So he will be looking at the stewards at the end of the race if that's removable. But for now, he's at the back of the grid. Only a safety car can save him right now.
Yeah, just a safety car. We're on lap
Meantime,
number
though,
12.
Sarthak.
Oh, Dub's losing his rear again.
Yep, and I think his tires are pretty much gone. So, he needs to cool down for a lap or two before he pushes on again.
Yeah.
Fortunate for him.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Davin, you were bringing something up?
Yeah, I was gonna say the top three though. Let's give them some credit. Look at how consistent they have been at keeping their gaps and keeping it clean up till now, and letting the rest of the field do the job for them. Streeter, Signic, and RB Fellow in the top three are just minding their own business and waiting to play out the strategy game over here. In the meantime, KDB now inherits the the effective race lead.
Yeah.
So,
but for now,
UK though, not letting him go.
Yeah, but for now, Streeter leads this race, and Big Man Joe now closing in on the likes of Gambler. Swings to the right hand side of the track, wheel to wheel as they head into the penultimate corner. Should be up in a P13. Nicely done, but Gambler comes back for it. Inside line a bit too wide for Big Man Joe. Got a nasty exit, but they stay wheel to wheel and then onto the main straight. Who's gonna have the advantage?
I wonder, and it seems like Gambler has the DRS, so he will be looking to attack once again. Down the inside he will go. Big Man Joe is out of DRS, but is he out of grip though on these fresh softs? Can he try to make a move somehow? But no, Gambler parks it right in the middle of the track. Just nice to defend, but on the exit, Big Man Joe is on him. Big Man is coming for Gambler. Will this gamble work for Gambler? Looks like Big Man Joe has the better grip under braking.
Yeah, just my Gambler sent into a spin. Oh, yeah.
A bit of tap there. That's unfortunate as well. I wonder if that's a racing incident or it's just a bit of unfortunate contact between the two drivers. And Signic up ahead has boxed. Sorry, my bad. Is Streeter from the race lead has finally made it stop. 14 laps to go. Will he box onto the hard tires? Let's see. Signic as well. Well, might have just called the future here, has boxed as well. Now, which means RB Farrello will be inheriting the race lead for the first time in this race.
Yeah, quickly, Dalvin, Kubarabi on Baby Shumi now within half a second. Perhaps we might just see a move on the main straight. It's keyboard versus wheel, but it's Kubarabi versus Baby Shumi, ladies and gentlemen, on track on the main straight. Closes in. Baby Shumi trying to deny slipstream as much as he can. At best, might just go in 3/10 of Baby Shumi, but we might not see a move after all.
Yep, just enough of a defense there by Baby Shumi. That means Signic has come out ahead of Baby Shumi. Perhaps some team play over there, which have turned into their favor. So Signic back out into P7 after the pits. Street and P6. RB Fellow leads the race. Ooh, little bit squiggly there. Envy and Big Man Joe as well.
Exactly.
Going into turn 1 and 2.
Yep.
Well, these two are gonna fight it out, I think.
Yeah, might just Envy up in a P13 though. Big Manjo 3/10 of Envy might just come back for the position like you mentioned. Up ahead, let's quickly switch back to Kubarabi on the gearbox of Baby Shumi. I think an opportunity awaits as Baby Shumi gets sent onto the curbs, loses a bit of traction, but so did Kubarabi. That gap's not changed, has it? Still half a second.
Yep, and another guy who is within half a second is Harry Rocks, who is attempting to overtake Dub. Pulls around the outside into the hairpin and tries to go around the outside with the medium tires. I think his mediums are in better condition than Dub's. Dub, unfortunately, who had that spin and also a couple of wheel spin moments has forced him to slow down. Harry Rocks takes P4 away from Dub right now.
Yeah, as we were on that battle, meanwhile Kubarabi.
That's the stranded McLaren on the back straight, and that's the car of Gauss, who had a spin coming out of the snail section onto the back straight.
Yep. Meanwhile, his teammate, however, managed to pick off a position from Baby Shumi after all. Meanwhile, the top three all within a second of each other with RB Ferrello leading this race. Let's stay on board Dub, who's closing in on IROX 24 to get back that position of his.
Yeah, it looks like this top 5 might just converge on each other very, very soon. Top 3 are already within a second of each other. KDB catching up to RB Fellow, but I wonder how much tires does KDB have to challenge RB Fellow at this stage? Looks like just enough to close up the gap, and RB Fellow getting a little squiggly there, possibly under pressure from KDB and UK.
Yeah, as they exit
And
sector
runs
2.
wide. RB Fellow runs wide on the entry onto the snail section, and then it just invites KDB to close up the gap onto the back straight. And yep, there we go. It's pretty close. KDB already in the slipstream and pulls alongside, makes the move easy peasy. Will UK make the move as well? Looks like he's just hanging back for a few moments. He might just send it on the braking. He pulls on the inside, and UK sends it into the inside. Takes P2 away from RB Fellow.
Yeah, 2 positions in one corner. Unfortunate for
Harry
RB
Rocks!
Ferrero.
Oh my goodness! What have I just witnessed? Harry Rocks has just spun it out of the hairpin, and he loses 2 positions now. Down to P6 he goes.
Yeah, RB Ferrero ends up pitting on the on this lap, on lap number 16. He'll be out on fresh sets, but UK closes in on KDB. This is for the race lead on lap number 16.
Yep, race lead and possibly the race win as well. If they can keep it this way, UK, as the race goes on, his tires will just get better and better. He's just biding his time over here. KDB has to pull out a gap, but unfortunately it's not happening for now.
Unfortunate, but as it stands, the front runners KDB, UK, Dup still has a almost 3-second gap to close in on. In the midfield, the closest cars are Baby Shumi and Kubarabi. Having made that move, Kubarabi still has the half a second gap to even extend, is trying to extend it to over a second. But Drunken Monkey heads into the pits for a fresh set of tires, I presume. Yep, fresh set of mediums for him. UK closes in, as I mentioned earlier. Let's stay on board UK versus KDB.
Yep, I think UK has to be given the hurry up over here, because right behind him in P4 is Streeter, who is also on fresh hearts and catching up to them. And well, looks like Streeter is definitely in contention for a race win, I might say. And he might just make it stick.
Yep.
Oh, and we see a move coming in from Envy there.
Yep.
Not even before the back straight. Envy goes around the outside of Vix 356.
Yep. He's the one charging through the pack now, and he meets RB Ferrero. Last time around, RB Ferrero fended him off pretty well. Now, apart from closing that gap of 8.5 seconds to RB Ferrero, he'll also have to go through him once again, Envy. RB Ferrero on fresher set of tires even. Quickly back to UK, who's on the gearbox to KDB. Continues to be within half a second of him.
Yeah, and KDB looks like he just has enough to defend on the straight for now, but he is losing tires. He is squiggling on the exit there. UK knows that the move is coming, but he has to make it stick very, very soon. He can't wait forever.
Meanwhile, Vix 356 went straight into the pits after 9 laps on the mediums. Similar tire life to that of KDB, but he heads into the pits regardless. So yeah, with the gaps gone nowhere throughout the field, it's just UK and KDB within half a second of each other.
Yep, and there's a yellow somewhere in the first sector. That's just Drunken Monkey, I presume. No, that's Big Man Joe, who had a little excursion on off track at the exit of turn 1. He's back on track. UK now, once again, onto the back straight. This time, only 3/10 the gap between him and KDB. KDB tries to defend as hard as he can, but looks like UK will try to send it around the outside, around the inside. Which way is it gonna go? KDB defends the inside. UK around the outside. Can he outbreak KDB around the outside? Come on, make it move. And no, KDB just leaves enough space for UK around the outside, but still up ahead. He's still ahead.
Yeah, these two are gonna go neck and neck on the main straight even, I'm sure. Because into turn 1, UK might just have picked off this position. Well and done around the outside. Bit of contact between the two, as well as KDB aggressively moves to the left-hand side of the track. He will have to concede. He's down in a P2 now. UK retakes the race lead on lap number 18.
Indeed, and in the meantime, right behind them is Streeter. Only 4 seconds, and the gap is coming down to KDB and UK. So this might be the opportunity for him to catch up, and KDB is not giving up just yet. He attempts to retake the position, but oh, maybe there is a chance. There is a chance UK runs a little bit wide, so KDB around the outside into the high-speed section of Sector 2 goes back into P1. Wow, what a move.
Yeah, they're trading the race lead corner after corner at this rate. As UK down to P2, this should open up an opportunity, like you mentioned, for Streeter. He's now just
It's close
over
up a
3.5
second
seconds.
just by this little battle that they are having.
Quickly down to
Close up a second.
Quickly down to RB Ferro, down the inside of Baby Shumi, up in a P7 he goes.
Yep, easy as I like it from RB Fellow. Fresher tires as well. Mediums versus soft, so mediums versus hard. So RB Fellow makes it look simple. And up next for him is Cuba Rabi. Less than 2 seconds. He's gonna close up the gap very quickly.
He's got 10 laps to make it into the podium positions like he always does. So you can expect him to come up the order soon enough. 3 drivers with penalties out on track. Quickly back to UK, who stays out on track. KDB heads into the pits.
Yep, I think he has called it a day on these tires. He cannot go till the end. He knows it's impossible to even defend the podium from here. Might as well take new tires and let's see what he can muster up in his third stint. Goes on to another set of mediums, so this should comfortably take him till the end and possibly even a podium position at the end. But let's see, can he come out in clear air though? Cuba Rabi is coming across the track, RB Fellow is coming, Baby Shumi is coming, and now Derb is coming for him as well. KDB loses a lot of positions, down to P8 he goes.
Yeah.
This may not have been his way.
And he comes out fighting straight up. Now he's got Baby Shumi to pass. Quicker the better, of course, as RB Ferrello is still in his line of sight. Derp is closing in as well, so he's going to have his hands full soon enough.
Yep, and KDB right away. Oh, looks like he wanted to dive it down the inside of Baby Shumi, but no. 11 lap all hearts for Baby Shumi. KDB definitely knows this is a must-make move by the end of this lap, otherwise he's losing some time. And yeah, he wastes no time and on the high-speed section goes around the inside of Baby Shumi on the double right-hander, makes it stick and pulls up ahead.
Yeah, but Baby Shumi didn't go out without a fight. He tried coming back down the inside as well, but didn't work out in his favor. Derp ever so close to the likes of Shumi now, 3/10 even. So this battle will continue, but KDB seems to be pulling away. Now Derp down the inside, peeks down the inside, tries to come alongside of Baby Shumi. Yes, he will. He'll have the position as well at the back straight. He's up in a P8, but Baby Shumi, can he come back for what's his? He will, as he swings to the right hand side of the track. Now wheel to wheel into the penultimate corner down the inside. Will he not? No, he won't.
He won't. Baby Shumi out of battery, out of grip on the all hard tires. He will drop down like a fly. Derp up into P8. Now KDB as well. Up into P7 and chasing RB Fellow. Herox in the meantime has boxed onto a fresh set of soft, so he's down the order as well. Up front, RB Fellow now only within half a second of Cuba Rabi. And looks like this might be a move coming in for P4 very soon, and possibly, if he can, in the last 8 laps, make a charge for the podium.
Yeah,
and
RB
already
Fellow.
up into P4, RB Fellow. Up ahead he goes, stretches his lead. And am I right or not? It's just RB Fellow seems to be driving without a helmet, and I'm seeing some googly eyes over here. That should be some meme material, but in the meantime, RB Fellow now will be looking to hunt down the...
Yeah, unfortunately I had a bit of audio issues on my end, but we heard you loud and clear, Davin, and I hope you can hear me loud and clear. It's almost a DRS train in the midfield. Great.
Yep, DRS train as you mentioned now, RB Fellow, but crucially on the traction. That fresh medium's proving to be super sweet right now, and he pulls away on the straight. Impossible for Cuba Rabi to make a move, but KDB senses an opportunity this time around. He tries to go around the inside. Yes, on the inside, KDB will go on Cuba Rabi and outbreaks him into the hairpin. Yep, makes the move, easy as you like. Derp tries to make a move as well, but seems to be stuck behind Cuba Rabi for another straight.
Yeah, this might just be an opportunity for Derp now into turn 1. Might be his moment. But yeah, still 3/10 not working out in his favor. That gap, it almost seemed like it had gone over a second between KDB and RB Ferrello ahead. It's come down to below a second, so the DRS train between these 4 cars continues.
Yep, and all the while UK has been maintaining his gap to Streeter. He is still not too far off. It's just about 4.5 seconds.
Oh, meanwhile, Darwin Dubs has gotten the move done. He's gotten down the inside of Kuberabi and he's up in a P6. Next up is Envy, 5 seconds off of Kuberabi. He's a bit late to the party up in front.
Yep, and correct me, Sarthak, I think I might have disconnected from the lobby. If that's so, I'll reconnect in a moment.
Okay. Alright, yeah, it does seem that way. After all, Dalvin does say migrating host though, so I just hope the rest of the drivers out on track aren't met with any issues of any sorts. KDB is trying to charge on and take the fight to RB Ferrero. Now 210s at the back straight. He closes in. He'll have DRS as well. He'll swing to the right hand side of the track like he's done ever so often in this race, and he'll pick off that position and go up in a P4 and make it look easy in the process. KDB on a charge.
Yep, indeed. While we are still continuously migrating hosts, KDB has made the move for P4. Let's hope that's actually happening. And yeah, that will be great to see. RB Fellow now has to stick behind KDB. He's not letting this go without a fight. He tries to fight back around the outside into turn 1. Can he hang around the outside? KDB tries to stick it on the inside, parks it at the middle of the track, and keeps it ahead for now.
Yeah, just might mind you, this is a fight for the Drivers' Championship as well, ladies and gentlemen. KDB, he is third in the Drivers' standing so far. RB Ferrero is second, so RB Ferrero, every position counts. He comes back for that position of his. Down the inside he goes, and up a position, perhaps nasty exit from him. KDB comes back there, wheel to wheel through the entrance of Sector 2, and perhaps RB Ferrero will hold on to that P5 for that much longer.
Yep, and looks like the lobby issues are continuing. We are getting a lot of things here.
Yeah, contact between the two, as it seemed on my screen, and continues to be contact between the two. It did seem like it was wheel to wheel between RB Ferrero and KDB. I just hope it's not absolute chaos for the drivers on track. But yeah, now it seems like KDB is up in a P4, RB Ferrero in P5, Dup in P6.
Yep, quickly Sata, I'm just checking if everything's alright. Yep, I might have to reconnect to the game because it's continuously showing migrating host for me. If that's happening on your side as well, please let me know.
Yeah, it is exactly the same, and it almost seemed like RB Ferrero and KDB were glitching into each other. That's what it seemed like on stream. But the battle continues. RB Ferrero within half a second of KDB, with Dup closing in quick.
Yep, his battling is not really doing anyone any favor, but Streeter, I think he has taken the lead. Yeah, I'm kind of lost a bit. All the timing glitches up and down.
Yeah.
Yep, it's all going haywire for the moment.
We might just have to reconnect ourselves right now on lap number 22. As chaotic as it might seem, the race leader, if my memory serves me right, is Streeter. Or UK.
Indeed, looks like Streeter is leading the race right now, and UK might have actually boxed for some fresher tires.
No, it says he's on 12 lap old hard, so technically UK is leading this race ahead of Streeter, Sicknick, and there you have it. We have our proper standings on the board. UK leads this race ahead of Streeter, ahead of Sicknick, KDB and RB Ferrero to follow, Dup in P6, Kuberabi in P7, Hydrox24 in P8, Envy closing in on his teammate.
And assuming that might be an easy pass or Team Orders, but Harry Rocks crucially on fresh soft, so that might just mean Harry is faster at this point of time in the race. So will Envy pass it? Well, will Harry let Envy pass, or is Harry going to go for the faster step? Let's see.
Yeah, KDB and RB Ferrero now within half a second or so as they come across the penultimate corner, and now the final one. On this lap, it might just be his opportunity to make a pass, but KDB seems to be pulling away on the main straight from RB Ferrero. Dup as well, he's not, it doesn't seem like he's in a strong position to close that gap to RB Ferrero either. So this is the part of the race where the gaps are extending and there will be no change in track position from any of the drivers so far, as long as it's clean, of course.
Yeah, just give me a second, Sarthak, quickly reconnecting, and hope that sorts out all the glitches that I'm seeing on my side of the screen. And if that's all right, I hope we have interesting 5-6 laps towards the end.
Yeah, I hope so too. This standings board is glitching in its own way for me as well. Of course, we're no stranger for this. It is, after all, the Formula 1 game.
Indeed, that's always a thing that happens. Well, we're not too far off from the new season, the new game. Let's hope that improves as well. Otherwise, well, we might just be moving over to another game. Having something. That's another topic for another day.
Yeah.
But back on the race. What's happening on tracks, Arctic?
Nothing much has changed. Like I mentioned, the gaps have extended to over a second now, with the closest ones being Derp to RB Ferrero to KDB. Again, considerable gaps between these three drivers as well. Derp seems to be closing in on RB Ferrero. Might attempt to move, perhaps. No, he holds back, in fact, and won't dive down the inside of RB Ferrero. Maybe on the main straight. He does have a nasty exit though, and through the final corner, he'll want to make sure he gets it damn straight, and he'll have DRS as well. Tries his best to close in on RB Ferrero. RB Ferrero trying to deny slipstream for Derp around the outside. Hasn't worked out in his favor last time around, Derp. This time around, down the inside he peaks, wheel to wheel into sector 1 they go, and Derp has gotten the move done. Up in a P5 he goes.
Interesting, and probably missed the best move of the race. And as I slowly reconnected the lobby, let's see if we are back online. But yep, give us an update of who's leading this. What's the gap between 1 and 2?
Yeah, UK leads this race ahead of Streeter. It's a gap of almost 3 seconds, 2.729, and Sicknick to follow. And KDB in P4, Derp in P5, and RB Ferrell in P6. It's closest gap between two drivers, of course. It happens to be Drunken Monkey and Guts in the back of the pack. Let's quickly jump to them.
Yep, I can't jump. Unfortunately, the game has just put me on a loading loop here. But if I remember correctly, earlier UK, who was leading, had a 4-second gap with 6 laps all the tires, so which means Streeter now, I think he might just be finding a little bit of second life in those tires and possibly hunting down the race lead.
Yep, might just be 10 laps old hards is what Streeter is on. 10 laps old mediums is what Sicknick is on. But 17 lap old hards is what UK is on lap number 26. 2 laps left. Can Streeter take that fight to UK? Because KDB and Derp, RB Ferrero, they seem to be having their own fight in the midfield. Derp closing in now on the likes of KDB. KDB trying to defend off Derp around the outside. This time around, Derp being extremely aggressive, stays wheel to wheel through the turn 1 and 2. As they head into turn 3 and 4, Derp has his nose in front of KDB as well, but they stay wheel to wheel going into the next sector. They might just stay this way throughout, but Derp still got the nose ahead. Now he's got the whole car ahead. He's up in a P4. What a move by him. RB Ferrello watches and waits for a possible fumble like he did with the likes of Envy and Derp last time around. But KDB still within half a second of Derp, so he's not going anywhere. Will still be an annoying itch perhaps for Derp for the last 2 laps of this race. UK comfortably leading for now. He's got a 2-second gap to Streeter, and that 2-second gap isn't reducing or becoming more. KDB is sent off into his spin, unfortunately loses the rear and loses position to RB Ferrello. Now he's got Hyrox 24 on his gearbox. And at the back, on the back straight, it should be opportunistic for Hyrox 24 after KDB having lost out on his rear in sector 2. Comes for that position, weaves to the left hand side of the track. KDB quickly tucks right back in, but it's Hyrox 24 up into P6, ladies and gentlemen. KDB hasn't gone anywhere, still within half a second of Hyrox 24, and KDB picks up a 3-second time penalty after multiple warnings. We got Davin back, so that's great to hear. On the penultimate lap, we got UK leading this race, and Streeter charging as much as he can to close that gap. But Hyrox 24 and KDB and RB Ferrero, this is where the real fight is, in the midfield, all within about a second of each other.
And unfortunately, Sartak, even though I'm back, I'm still stuck in the loading screen, and that might just mean you have to continue, and I'll just be on what's happening. And unfortunately though, also it looks like the stream is having some issues, so that's double whammy for us here today.
I'll quickly resolve that. Try my best to resolve that. Every time the penultimate and the final laps, that's where we have all sorts of issues, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, let's see on board KDB. Seems to me stream should be okay or not. Okay, no, it's not. So in the penultimate lap, we might just have to cut off stream, considering this is quite the action we might just witness. But RB Ferrello on the likes of Dub, closing in on the likes of Dub. Dub's trying to deny Slipstream DRS whatever he can. And into the penultimate corner, RB Ferrello on the outside will get the position. This is war fight to the finish. This is on lap number 28. UK has started the lap, but it is the midfield where the action is.
Finally, our main end. There we go, Sarthak. One lap to go. And